Hi, this is Stuart, and welcome to Digital Discipleship. I want to talk to you today about self-control. Everybody's favorite subject, right? Yes. Self-control has a bit of a bad reputation. No one really wants to talk about it. I think part of that is because people are mad at themselves for not exercising it, right? And I wish I could say I was drawn to this topic sort of out of an academic interest or a pastoral interest, but the truth is that often I've been the one who's sort of struggled with self-control. I'm the guy who watches a few videos or sees a documentary on TV about eating healthier, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to eat more healthy. And then I go eat a bag of chips because I have no self-control sometimes. I was listening to a guy just yesterday talk about it, and he was saying, you just got to make it the first 72 hours. You've got to grit it out. You got to tough it out, and if you can do that, then you'll get through the toughest and most intense parts. And he's like, all you have to do is make it 72 hours. Who can't do that? And I'm like, me? I struggle with 2 hours, much less 72. But I think everybody can probably relate to this. Who hasn't started more diets and exercise programs than they care to admit, right? And I think when we do that over and over and over again, and we watch ourselves fail over and over and over again, it's kind of a heartbreaking and spirit-crushing experience. And here's what I realized as I started thinking about myself. The problem isn't a lack of knowledge. I know what to do. I often know how to do it, right? More veggies, less junk food, less processed food, right? At least with diet and exercise. The problem isn't knowledge. The problem is self-control. So I started researching on this topic. I read I looked at what the Bible had to say. I read, from a scientific perspective, a lot of sociologists, a lot of psychologists, what they had to say. And it was very interesting. And what it looks like to me is it looks like the neural research, sort of the research into how our brains work and all that kind of, that it's really made some strides over the last 15, 20, 30 years. And one of the big aha moments for me was when I realized that it's about willpower. About 20 years ago, a group of sociologists in a landmark study, they kind of discovered or revealed that willpower is limited. It runs out. You can deplete it. The fancy word is ego depletion. So you might think that you can just grit your teeth and do something indefinitely, or that you can resist temptation over and over and over again. But the truth is that the more you have to resist, the more you have to, the sort of weaker you get, the less you're able to do it, right? Study after study has borne this out. You can think about it from your own perspective. It's as simple as realizing that you can be so committed to doing the right thing in the morning, but then by the time evening rolls around, you're just like, give me the chips. Just give me the chips. I don't care. Right? Willpower is limited. Understanding this is so key to self-control. And frankly, it shouldn't be surprising. As a Christian, that's how Scripture describes people as being limited, finite, fallible, weak. I think it's why in Scripture we're taught to flee temptation rather than stand and fight it, because you might get out of there the first time by standing and fighting. You might resist the first time. You might put the devil in. But over time, you're going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. And so for me, it was really important to realize, because what I figured out is that when I'm going to go into a difficult or tempting situation, or when I really need to make a change, I need to make sure that I'm replenished, that my willpower reserves are high, and I need to use my willpower strategically. This is why, for example, if you're trying to eat more healthy, don't keep junk food around the house. Use your willpower when it's strong to get that stuff out of the house, so that when you're weaker, you have to go to further lengths. Now, you might still go to the store and buy a bag of chips, but it's much less likely than if they're sitting in the cupboard awaiting a special occasion, right? Use your willpower strategically. And willpower is such a huge part of self-control. It's not the only thing. Habit is a big part of this as well. But just remember that willpower is limited. And if you remember that, you'll be 2 steps ahead of where you were yesterday. I hope this helps. God bless. Have a great day. And remember, if you found this helpful, please share it with friends on social media or something like that. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you'd like to support the work of New Life Community Church financially, you can always do that safely and securely by going to our website, N as in new, L as in life, communitychurch.org. One more thing before you go, I want to give special thanks to Carey, Nieuwhof, and Dyck, who had a conversation which prompted much of this content. Have a great day.